first female lady of comedy in New Mexico. Everybody, Goldie Garcia. Thank you. Thank you. Let's hear it for Ann Gora. And Caveman, he's back out. Let's give it a hand for Caveman, everybody. Thank you. You like the pants? I borrowed them from Lucas Corbata. I think he and I were separated at birth, you know? I always love the shoes he wears. My name is Goldie Garcia, and people always ask, are you the Garcias that own that restaurant? I'm like, no, we're the Garcias that at every family gathering, someone shouts, call 911! We've had, like, the police at our home so many times that I've dated the entire SWAT team. And I'm a Latina, if you can tell. And I get tired of being referred to as a hot tamale, okay, guys? Okay, white boys? And I'm tired of hearing it, you know? I could swear the day I was born, the doctor went up to my mother and father and said, Mr. and Mrs. Garcia, you just gave birth to a hot tamale. And I think, where did they get this? A food, a hot tamale? I don't get it. They don't do this about women from other cultures. You know, you don't hear them saying about, like, East Indian women, ooh, curry. Or about Asian women, ooh, I'd like some of that dim sum. And what about Native American women? Ooh, check out the eyes on that sizzling fry bread. Yeah, you don't hear hot tamale, guys. Listen to me. You don't hear Latinos saying about white women, ooh, check out the legs on that green beans casserole. Somehow I can't even, like, balance tonight. My pants must be a little tighter or something. Well, I'm a native New Mexican, of course, which means I don't have car insurance. And, or job. No. But my mother was always afraid when I first started dating. She was terrified of the sandias. She says he's going to take you on a date. Well, what if he takes you to the mountains and assaults you? I'm like, well, gee, I better pack a picnic. And I've been smoking. How many people smoke nowadays? Such a dirty little habit. You know, I was out of cigarettes. You need your ID to get the cigarettes. I didn't have my ID. I went to the Circle K. The clerk was real arrogant. He pointed to the sign. He said, you know, you need your ID. And he pointed to the sign, you know, and he says, I don't make the laws. And I'm like, hey, you don't make minimum wage. Thank you. In a recession, that joke kills. And it really pisses me off at my age why people think they have to card me. He made me so mad I want to pull my blouse up and say, count how many inches my tits hang from my chin, okay?
I need 2 rulers.
That's how old I am. I could play hack-a-sack with these things, you know? Well, you know, I met the Prince of Spain at one of these fancy Albuquerque events. And I was out in the lobby. I had a few, like, wines under my belt. And I met the bodyguard to the Prince of Spain. And you know how bodyguards always try to impress women, you know, like rock star bodyguards? There was a 6'2" tall Hispanic guy, you know, tall, dark, handsome with a big mustache. And he looks at me and he says, I'm the prince's bodyguard. And I said, oh yeah. He says, I'm from Madrid. And I thought he meant that little town over the mountains, you know, stupida. There's a word for that, stupida, right? And I looked at him, I said, oh, you mean that cute little town over the mountains? You know, I wasn't thinking big country Spain. And he looked at me like, man, this chick looks like she's got the brain the size of a piñon. And then I hit him and I said, why don't you set me up with the prince? And he looked down on me and he said, he likes blondes. And I said, well, you know, give me 45 minutes. I got a bottle of peroxide in my purse, okay? Then he looked at me again and he says, man, she don't got the brain the size of a piñon. It's more like a mustard seed. And I got real insulted. You know, this Latino man, oh, he likes blondes. Well, hell, if you don't like brunettes, I don't date guys that are named Felipe anyway, okay? The name Felipe, where does that? That sounds like something your grandma would tell your grandpa. Be sure on the way home to Felipe up the car with gas, okay? Thank you, my name's Goldie Garcia. Bye. Thank you. Let's hear it for Ann.